Let's go ahead now and do the other side. Now the other side may be different, but we're going to go ahead and do the exact same thing where we'll put one thread here first, just so you can see it. Here's pretty much our exact same plan, and one thread here just a little bit, and then we'll come back and see how we do and if we need another thread and in what direction we should go ahead and put that. So again, this is a thinking person's game here. That's exactly what we're trying to do, and you can adjust while you go during this procedure here. So I'm going to do this exact same thing again. Here's some lidocaine. I'm going to go ahead and put this lure lock on. And as I taught you last time, don't put it on quite as tight, because then it's a little bit tougher to go ahead and get rid of when you want once you finally get through here. So again, 3 to 5 to 10 degree angle, but a very, very sharp angle as you're going into the skin here. I'm just going to poke right through. She's going to feel that a little bit because that's like my pilot hole. And at this point, I'm going to add a little bit of lidocaine right there and let that just start to take effect. And I don't need epinephrine. This is 2% lidocaine for that. And again, I'm just going to go a tiny bit deeper. I can grab around there, and hopefully my hand is not blocking that, and I know I'm in a really good plane. Now I'm going to go concave with this just a little bit, and this way I know where my needle tip is, and I'm just going to go ahead. Because it's a sharp needle, it's going to go through the tissue much more easily. So, I can pull on this, and it's everything glides through, and it's not that big push that you have with a cannula here. So as I go through here, I'm going to give her a little bit more lidocaine just to make that feel better to her. And then at this point, I can disconnect this, and I can go ahead about my normal procedure here. And again, I'm going to go ahead and bend this hub. Hang on, let me grab it with this other hand. And because I'm a righty, this is the way I do it. Yes, we should all learn how to do these things with both hands. And you can see the tip of my needle is up here. That's where I want to go. And I'm going to go all the way to place, and I can feel the tip of my needle right there. That's really good. Now I'm going to exaggerate this lift here as I pull it out, because that's exactly what I want. You can feel those barbs start to engage there just a little bit as I really lift this up, and as I pull on this, you can see that I'm going to get a lift right there, and you can see that move. And now we are ready to go ahead and snip this one and evaluate and see what we've got there. So let's go ahead and do that very quickly. You can see I've got this. Let me get this to place. You want to hold that up. You want to press down on the tissue and go ahead and snip that off cleanly. And now you've got a nice little lift, and this lifted a little bit more than the other side, which is really, really nice. I'm going to add, for this one, I'm going to add one more thread right underneath it, and so it's going to be parallel to that right there, just so you can get an idea. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to mark this one. This way you can go ahead and see it, see that tissue as we go through this here. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, again, I'm going to do the same thing, even though she told me that she did feel a little bit on the other side where I started up here, but hopefully this should be fairly numb already. So Connie, you'll tell me if you feel anything right here. But I'm going to follow this along, and I just want you to see it without it being marked and see if that looks any different to you. So I'm going to hold this back. Here's my pilot hole, and because it's a sharp tip, it's going to go in there 3 to 5 degrees. I'm going to go right through there, and you're going to feel it fall into that dermal plane. Go concave. I'm pushing down on the hub, as you can see, and hopefully the camera is picking up what's happening back here. And then gently pull the skin on top of this, but because it's a sharp needle, this will go through very, very well. But again, keep bending that hub so I can feel my needle right there. I know exactly where I am at all times, and that is going to go to place. Now I'm going to really exaggerate that lift, and I'm going to pull this out, and as you can see, that's going to come out very nicely, and because there's that little pledget, and you can see what we've got right there. And now we've got that second part that is really pulling on here and lifting quite nicely there. So now we're just going to go ahead and snip this, and then we are ready for some dermal filler treatment that we're going to go ahead and do. And again, if I ever need more, I can add more. I can add them later on. I can add them at a disappointment. But for right now, I think that she's looking great. She's got a much tighter jawline with 2 simple threads. And again, this does not take very long. And was that more comfortable on this one, the second thread? Yeah. So because on that other side, I just want to explain. I started up here, so this area really didn't have that lidocaine. This was lidocaine as I went through this, and now that this whole area was fine just like that. But again, she's very easygoing when it comes to this. Now, for right now, I am just going to go ahead and protect these open areas with these tiny little Band-Aids for now. Once we get her cleaned up after the dermal filler treatment, I'm going to show you a way to go ahead and make sure everything stays nice and clean, and go ahead and make sure that that this is these areas don't get infected, and everything is going to look really good here. So let me just. So the hardest thing is struggling with these darn little Band-Aids here. So let me just get this. And then we're going to go ahead to her dermal filler treatment here.